Hi, today I have something extremely exciting that I have been working on behind the scenes for a little while that I want to let you in on. I want to start by saying that you all know that in order for me to ever discuss any product, whether it's an ID Life product, whether it's a Bedrock Living product, whether it's an outside product that we are endorsing or recommending, I go to great lengths to vet every aspect of that product, from its science and formulation, to its manufacturing, to its ingredients, to its ownership, to its ethics. All of those standards I take a long time looking at. We actually vetted ID Life and ID Nutrition for 1.5 years before we would let any person take the ID Nutrition. Because my commitment to you is to make sure that you only get the best, that you get the best price, you get the best quality, you get things you can trust, and you always have things that will not hurt you. And that the companies that you deal with are ethical, are upstanding, and they have high levels of customer care as well as quality assurance. So we don't ever recommend anything, and that's why it is never okay for someone to come into one of our groups and recommend a product, because they don't take the kind of time I take. And so everything that you ever hear about in Bedrock, we've taken that kind of time. We've researched the ingredients, we've researched the formula, we've researched the science behind it to exhausting levels. We have researched the people involved in the company. We have researched where the products come from, their manufacturing facilities. All of those things get looked at when we put the Bedrock name to absolutely anything. I take that extremely seriously. And you know that if a better quality product comes out, we'll tell you about that, which is one of the reasons why we're no longer recommending Vital Proteins as our top collagen peptide, because there's something better on the market in Collagen Plus. And it's why when it comes to therapeutic ketones, there's 7 companies that make therapeutic ketones, and yet there's only 2 that I would ever recommend, because I can put my name behind the quality, because I know the integrity of the ownership and the integrity of the ingredients. So for me to recommend someone else's product, I have to know that they go to the same exact extreme lengths that I go to in terms of customer satisfaction and quality of product, quality of ingredients, and the same level of science and scientific understanding. So a while ago, we were approached agriculturally by a company who's has a gut health product for livestock. And it fell in line with what we do for people. And obviously we have a ranch and we want our animals to be as healthy as possible. And so I started working with the gentleman. He and his wife are the owners of this company, and they happen to be here in Florida. And he told me at that point that they had just started marketing a human version. So we've been beta testing. And granted, it's been out on the market for a while. So when I say beta testing, we're not doing their beta testing. We're beta testing it for ourselves. But here at Oak Valley Ranch, we've been using their product with our animals and with our humans. So I've been on it. My kids have been on it. And I am incredibly impressed with this product. So I obviously have badgered the formulations people to death. I have worked very hard with the ownership to understand every aspect of it, and you have to understand that for a company that this is their thing, this is their pioneer product, the way that ID Nutrition and the ID Assessment is our pioneer product. They don't want to share their formula. They don't want to share their stories and their secrets, because those are trade secrets. And so there's lots of companies that I work with that tell me they won't tell me what's in their products. It's a proprietary blend. That tells me that there's no integrity with that company. And so any company that comes to me and says, I can't tell you what's in my proprietary blend, I would never work with, and you should never use their products. Even we have a proprietary blend that goes into every capsule in terms of our filler, and we tell you every item that's in that proprietary blend. There is complete transparency. So I only work with companies who have that same level of transparency that I expect us to have. And Carl and his wife absolutely have that level of transparency. So I've been waiting to do this until I had all my ducks in a row and we were absolutely certain, and we went and I actually had lunch with Carl yesterday to talk about how I wanted to discuss this product with certain people, because there are people who are our clients right now, who, those of you who are in Bedrock, who have really been struggling for a long time to get your gut better, and you're doing everything right. You are already following the paleo diet, or you're already on in the keto masterclass, or you've even been doing carnivore in an effort to speed up that healing. And you're already taking your ID nutrition. You're already eliminating all the things we know that damage the gut and the gut microbiome, and you've been diligent about it. This is a product for people who have gotten to the point where they're doing everything right and they need extra help. And then at the end, I'll kind of tell you my son's story and why this has become something that we've decided to add to our repertoire in Bedrock Nutrition, so that this is something that our team has access to, that our clients have access to, that very few people have access to, because there is currently no retail outlet for this product. We are the first retailers of the human product. So anyway, the product itself is called Organic Gut Solution. This is what it looks like, little black capsules. And it comes in 60 capsules. You would take one a day. So this is a 2-month supply. If you're really in rough shape, you can take 2 a day, but we've only been doing 1 a day, and it works phenomenally well. So oftentimes, I hear people say that they use activated charcoal. And there are times when we recommend activated charcoal. You know, if you've been out drinking or you got gluten, I want you to take an activated charcoal, drink a hydrate, stay hydrated. And that charcoal will bind to the toxins inside your body, flush them out through the liver, clean out the liver, and help you feel better faster. That's true. The problem I have with activated charcoal, and the reason that I caution you guys consistently against using activated charcoal every day, whether you're using it to brush your teeth or you're taking it as a supplement, you don't do it every day. The reason for that is because activated charcoal is not discerning. It cannot tell good bacteria from bad bacteria. It's just a filter. Same with bentonite clay or diatomaceous earth. It doesn't have the capacity to decide that bacteria is bad and that bacteria is good. So I'm going to leave that one here. I'm going to grab that one, snatch it, and go. The other thing is that activated charcoal is incomplete in that it has to touch a toxin as it passes through the digestive tract in order to bind to it and take it out. So it doesn't get everything. It doesn't clean everything up. But the problem is, if you're taking the activated charcoal and you're taking your vitamins within an hour of one another, you're also binding to your vitamins or your food and taking that out. So you become nutrient deficient through overuse of something like activated charcoal. So I've really been careful when we talk to you guys about using activated charcoal about it's a once in a while thing. You cannot do it all the time. So when we started using OGS for the animals, because it started out as an agricultural product, we started using it for the animals. The goal was to fix the gut microbiome. And we had some animals that we brought onto the property that were not well, that we knew that their microbiomes were compromised. The previous owner had not only vaccinated them, but dewormed them and given them antibiotics. So they were sick, she made them sicker, and then she gave them to us. And we started to lose them. I think you guys remember when I posted about Sambuca dying, that was my first one that I was trying to nurse back to health holistically. And we just didn't get there in time. We just weren't able to. And we did lose several of those lambs until finally, the next step was I called in our vet, and who knows that I would always rather do things holistically. And we did a bunch of tests to look at their microbiome, and we found out that what we thought it was, which was parasites, was not at all what it was. As a matter of fact, they didn't show any parasites or bacteria at high enough levels that would have warranted deworming them or giving them an antibiotic. So we were left with, well, now what the hell do we do? And our vet's recommendation was to just give them vitamin injections, which we started doing. By accident, I found Carl an organic gut solution through a group that I belong to that does homesteading, farming, different types of ranching, etc., where people just throw in information, ask each other questions. And this product came up. So I started to do some research. We met with Carl initially to get a bulk load for all of our animals. And so our sheep, our horses, our donkey, our pigs, our chickens, and our ducks are all on the product. After talking to Carl yesterday, I'm also putting the rabbits on the product. We've been extremely happy with it. We had problems with the chickens laying eggs. They're back to laying eggs. We had problems with the sheep getting ill. We're working on that. We've actually saved some that we thought were lost and gone forever. And we are turning the health of these animals that were given to us unhealthy around now permanently. And I'm really stoked about that. So I'll tell my son's story at the end, but part of the reason why we got involved with the adult or the human version of this was specifically because of my son and some GI issues he's been having that we cannot control because they're outside of my control. And so within just a week of taking the OGS, he was completely symptom-free. The true test was actually this week, and he had one incident where he had an upset stomach, took the OGS, and immediately called me 30 minutes later and said all of his symptoms were gone. That was nausea, diarrhea, abdominal pain was what he's been experiencing on a regular basis. So he has IBS-like symptoms that I think are actually borderline colitis. Okay. With the animals, and for me, why I've been taking it is not actually for any gut symptoms. It's more for overall immune building because of the gut microbiome. So how does it work and what is it? So I think that a lot of amazing products and amazing science comes from happy accidents, what I call them. So when I created my Bedrock Living toothpaste, it was a happy accident. The deodorant came from a happy accident. The magnesium came from a happy accident. My best creations, founded in the best science, have always been happy accidents. I wasn't looking to do that. I was looking to do something else, and this literally fell into my lap. And that is how the OGS came about. So if anybody's interested in actually the backstory of the OGS, I'm happy to sit and talk with you about that because it's a pretty cool story. But what is OGS? So OGS is carbon at its most pure form. I was trying to think of how I want to say that. It's most pure form. So the carbon atom that you see on the periodic table of elements, that is what this is. It is pure carbon. In the process of getting activated charcoal, what they do is they burn coconut to create charcoal. And that is on the scale of, there's 14 steps from step 1 to step 14 where it comes out as pure carbon. Activated charcoal only goes through the first 3 steps of what OGS does. So they take this on and another 11-step process to get to pure carbon. It is not coconut based, by the way. It is wood based. It comes from trees, and they're working on another item that will give it actually a 10% better yield and make it even more sustainable than what they're doing now. That's all in the process already, and we're headed towards that direction. So it will also lower production costs, make the product even better. And the reason for that is, and the reason they don't use coconut or a number of other things that many companies use to make activated charcoal type products, or even what they call biochar. So on that scale of 14 processes, biochar is process 9. That is a carbon that is an activated carbon for soil. So that's an agricultural use. So it takes activated charcoal, 6 steps further, and it becomes an activated carbon that can go into the soil and start to regenerate the health of the soil for farmers. And so this takes that another 5 steps further, removes all impurities, removes all any terpenes or any chemical compounds that were part of the original wood, so that it is literally just carbon. So you guys from organic chemistry in high school should know that all living organisms are carbon chains. We are a carbon chain. Everything about matter is carbon. And so this is basically what you're made of. The reason that they chose the wood that they chose instead of coconut, instead of a number of other things that they looked at, was the porosity and the surface area. So, for example, we talk about the surface area of your liver, right? If you were to stretch your liver out, the surface area of the liver is enormous. So that's what all of the toxins in your body bind to, is all of that surface area that's in your liver. And that's why your liver can get gunked up if it's trying to constantly clean itself out. If you're an alcohol drinker, if there's high fructose corn syrup or agave syrup in your diet, you literally start to degrade the liver's ability to attach to the things that it's supposed to attach to in your body, which are all of the number of toxins that we're exposed to on a daily basis. So this has incredible surface area. If you were to take a 1 inch by 1 inch square of this powdered carbon and stretch it out, if you were able to stretch out the surface area, it would cover 10 football fields worth. That's how much area there is for it to attach to all of the toxins in your body or in an animal or even in the soil. So how does this differ from activated charcoal beyond the fact that it's more pure and it has more porosity, it has more little holes and places for things to attach, and has greater surface area? Those are the main reasons. But the other reason is because when they get down to this pure carbon, based on the process that they use, the carbon has a negative ionic charge. I believe he said it's -9. If I remember correctly, but that negative ionic charge makes this discerning. So now it can actually attract very specific bacteria, parasites, and toxins to the charcoal without having to touch it, or to the carbon, without having to touch it the way an activated charcoal does. So it doesn't just bind to what it touches, it brings things to it. Well, your vitamins, your minerals, your amino acids, and your good bacteria have a lower negative charge or a lower positive charge or a negative charge. So they won't be drawn to or attracted to this. So the things that actually are hurting you literally are sucked to this like a magnet. And because it's such a small dose, it takes a little bit out at a time. And so so sometimes, remember, we talk about spirulina and chlorella chelating so quickly that it makes you sick because it pulls so many toxins to it so fast. This doesn't do that. So unlike some of the other things that we've used to create a natural detoxification process on a daily basis inside the body, because remember, there's no detox process that works. Your body has to detox itself. This is going to allow your liver to do its job, and it's going to get the bad bacteria out of the gut to the liver so that the liver can get rid of it. The other cool thing about that ionic charge is that by doing so and having all of this porosity, it actually starts to break down harmful bacteria so that when it is evacuated from the body, there's nothing. It's literally just broken down into its own carbon. So you can't spread bacteria and parasites because it's literally deactivating whatever that is. So scientifically speaking, and I'm trying to like keep this at a very low level, this is an extremely cool product. It is safe to take every day, unlike activated charcoal, but it can also be used short term for illnesses. It can be used to treat a particular issue, or if you're having diarrhea or GI issues, it can be used temporarily. So we've used it temporarily in some friends of mine's horses to see if it would help them heal from infections and things like that by boosting the immune system through the gut microbiome. So we have used it short term and we've used it long term. So what I would recommend doing is, starting with a month and then reevaluating just like we do anything else and seeing where you're at. I've been on it for myself for about a month. We just finished up our first bottle, our first 60 capsule thing with Nico and I each taking it. So we take one a day. So that's 30 days. I absolutely love this. I literally was so excited, but I didn't want to talk to anybody until we worked things out and I truly wanted to understand all of the science behind it. So I've gone through their facility in terms of how it works, what the process is, where they're located, why they choose the wood that they start with, why they choose that, and everything in between. The history of the company, the history of the family, where they see themselves going. This is definitely a company that I feel confident aligning myself and my company name and my team with. So, as I said, we will be the first retailers of this product. And I'll post in the comments the cost for a 60-day supply. It's around $50 something. It's like a little less than $1 a capsule, so right around $60. So I'll post all of that information, and then what you will do is you'll order this through us. We will place an order based on demand, and then Carl lives about an hour and a half away from me, so we'll be able to get that out to you guys. There will be a $7 flat rate shipping, so no matter how many packages you order, shipping will be $7. That way we can send it to you priority mail in 3 days. And we can fit more than one in a package, but that's their flat rate package rate is like $7.25. So we're just going to call it an even $7. And if anybody is interested or wants more information on it, please let myself or one of the team members know, and we'll make sure that you get information on that. Okay, I look forward to talking to you guys more, and I do think this is going to be a great addition to the things we already offer. I'm so excited. So our whole goal is to provide you complete, comprehensive, holistic care from the inside of your body to the out, from your head to your toes, to cover your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual well-being in every way, shape, and form possible. And I think that everything we do aligns with that goal. So I look forward to working with you more. I look forward to talking to you soon. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye.